Thank you. And also welcome from my side to today's session about continuous operational improvements through specialized asset management systems. So before we jump into the topic, what I usually do is check, okay, what is an asset management system? What does Google say? So as you can see, Google is saying that it's a systematic approach for tracking, monitoring, and managing organizations' assets throughout their life cycle. So it's about tracking your assets. How do you configure your assets? It also has a compliance aspect to it. And if we're now looking into this digital topic that is now more and more coming into the industry, there are various more types of information that are coming to asset management systems. So again, Google is saying here that it's about storing, organizing, and managing digital assets like images, videos, and documents and other data. So in this case, it's more about a digital twin. A digital twin is like a twin of your asset in your system. So it has all the information, what is the asset, docs, photos. You can also get diagnostic information. So now from a traditional asset management system to a digital asset management system, you can combine it now and you're getting even more information out of it. And this information helps you then could help you to improve your operations in the end. So today I would like to take you on this journey on how something like a digital asset information system could look like. We all know that digitalization and working with such systems is a journey. Just think about back then when we started with our Nokia phones. So in the beginning, it was just about your phone calling or messaging with an SMS. And maybe you could also play some Snake, but that was back then. To now moving forward, like I think it's at least 25 years ago. So if we're looking at it now, a mobile phone is, for some people, for most of the people, you manage your life with it. So you have all your contacts, you have all your photos in it, videos, you're even managing your bank accounts with it. The phone is capable of detecting if you had a fall or something and calling emergency. So it can do everything, and we're managing everything with it. And this was quite a long journey thinking about this Nokia to now what we're doing with our phones. And it's very similar to asset management systems and how we can use this digitalization topic in our industry. So let's start first with the first step with transparency. Are we aware of what is in our plan? How many assets are there? How maintainable are those assets? Going forward, okay, if we know what's in the plan, we also see what type of documents are there. How can I trace them? Do I have transparency for government regulations? Next step, which is then building up on this foundation. And once I know what's in my plan, you can also work with troubleshooting information, like diagnosis information that devices are sending to you. Even further on this journey, you're seeing process monitoring, where assets can give you information on how your process is doing. So I will give you more insights on all of these steps in the journey in the later slides, where I also have some customer references for you on how they are using such type of asset management systems. And looking forward, once you have this information complete, you can automate your processes and then also use this information you get from your asset management system for remote support with the people you are working with. So I would like to take you on this journey and guide you through what does every step look like. I have some customer references for you. And in the end, we can also have a short look on a demonstration. How can an asset management system that provides this type of information look like? So let's start. first, I have a question to you all. So do you know all your devices in your plant? And this is really all of your devices. Are you aware of what's going on there? So please submit your answer and then we can have a look in a short amount of time. Okay, so far I don't see any. There's some responses. Okay, so 60% of you said no, I'm not aware of all of my devices, and 40% said yes. That's an interesting result from my point of view. So most of the customers that I talked to, they said, I'm not aware of all of my devices. So that's a good result. Okay, so let's move forward. So transparency. Why is it important to manage asset information? So I just wanted to remind you that we're really losing up to 70% of our time in searching information. And this is a significant amount of time, if you ask me, because we don't have that much time available in our days. So you should ask yourself, are you really aware about your assets? Are they obsolete? Or how many assets are critical for your processes? And if these critical assets are obsolete, this could be a problem in the future. Then also people are searching for documents, and they are also they should also be aware of the maintainability of the devices. So how long will they be available at your supplier? So all of this is really important when we're talking about the transparency part and the documentation part. So I have here this example. It's from the company BWT, also in life science. And they had a challenge. They are building those skits that you can see here in this picture. Those skits. And skits, they sensors in this example, transmitters. And in the beginning, what they had to do a manual collection of all the documents that are related to the specific transmitters. And that was really a high amount of labor for them. So they were thinking about something, how can we automate this collection of asset-related documents? And this is where an asset management system that was worked out in cooperation with a customer can really help. So there's a code attached to the device. So BWT is scanning this code, and with that, this all the relevant information is then transferred first through the supplier's system and then through an API to the BWT document system. So this is really an easy collection of documents. So it's just a scanning with your mobile phone, and you have all your information. And it's really a dramatic reduction of time here to just access documents. Okay, so far the first step of this journey, looking into transparency of what's going on in your plant and how you store your documents. If we're now going to the next one, do you know at any time whether your devices are working properly? I'm moving now into the troubleshooting part of the journey. Okay, so let's see. So from what I've experienced as customers is, interesting. So you're saying 67% are aware whether their devices are working properly, which is good, and 33% are saying no. Okay, that's interesting. So what my experience from the past is that either customers are checking on the devices if they are working fine on regular visual checks, or they do that on a regular basis doing calibration for sure. But there's also a significant amount of people that are not all the time aware of the health status of the diagnostic information of their devices. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so new transmitters are able to send out information on how they are doing. So different companies have different technologies behind it, and devices can tell you, okay, I'm doing fine, I'm measuring properly, or hey, I need attention, I have a problem, there's some failure. So there's a lot more information inside devices that we usually access. So I would like to share this customer reference with you, where this customer had a lot of instruments in their clean room and they didn't have any central asset management system. So it took quite some time for them to understand if there's a problem to get into this clean room, as you all know. So what they did in this case was they put wireless equipment onto the assets, and then we're able to access diagnostic information. So from outside the clean room, they were able to see if all their devices are working fine. If not, what's the problem, so they can prepare before entering the clean room, because it always takes some time to get in there. So for them, it was a simple way to simplify the maintenance task, let's say it like that, to reduce timing on how they conduct their maintenance tasks. So the next step of this journey is we're not just looking at the asset itself, but also what can assets tell you about the process. So this is even one step further inside the journey. So I would like to ask you, are you actively using device insights to detect process anomalies or predict device breakdowns? Later on, I can also show you how this type of information can look like in an asset management system and what type of information you get out of it. Okay, so let's see. So most of you, 75% said no, they did not yet use device insights to detect process anomalies. Yeah, this is also matching my experience so far from customer visits. And I think there are a lot of insights that we should use in the future. And they are getting more and more easy to access through asset management systems. So let's see. Okay, now I see the screen again. Okay, there are different types of information available inside devices. Like one example is buildup detection. So devices can detect if there's buildup in the device, and you can also think about, is this then only in the device, also in the pipe? You can detect corrosion, foam detection. So there's a lot of interesting information inside devices that are not used right now. And if you start to monitor those information on a regular basis, you might also be able to identify trends. And especially in this case of build-up detection, you might be able to understand when is the best timing to clean, for example, and you do not have to do it on a regular basis, so you can improve your operations. So I would like to share this customer reference with you. It's a customer that has this challenge, as everybody has. Calibration is very timely and costly. So what they did is specifically for the most critical devices, they were verifying the devices on a regular basis. So this is also a built-in functionality that a lot of devices can do, and they're verifying itself if they are still working properly and measuring properly. So this verification takes also into consideration those process insights that I've just showed you in the last slide, and is then evaluating whether the device is okay or you need to do something about it. And in this case, this customer then had the possibility to extend their calibration cycles by doing verification once per month. So those asset management systems allow you to schedule your verification, and then it's just running in the background and you will be notified if there's any issue with the device. So this can also significantly reduce the time that your devices are out for calibration. Okay, so looking back to the journey. So we went through the transparency, getting all the information about our assets, to documentation, where do we store all the documents. Remember, it's like 70% of our time is just for searching for information. Then troubleshooting, where we can access diagnostic information about our devices. This is a more connected experience, as it's a continuous monitoring way, as well as process monitoring, even more advanced. And then once you have all this information, you can start to automate, because you have information that help you to make the right decision or automate operations. So it's based all on information. And in the end, it's not just you that is profiting from this information, it's also your remote support from your supplier. If they also have access to information, they can even help you more faster to solve issues that you might have. So concluding this, for me, and I hope you take this message with you, it's all about having the right information at hand to make the right decisions and also derive then the right actions out of it. And those information that you need, and then also take action on it. Also, with more information that you have available to you and your team, it's also more easy and efficient to automate certain operations, as I was already mentioning. And also support teams are can do their work more efficient if they have more information at hand. Just imagine somebody from service, if they already know what's the issue, they can prepare properly and they'll not have to drive there several times. So having information beforehand gives them also more time efficiency on that. And it's also better for you if you do not have that much time the device is down, say like that. Okay, so maybe if there are already questions in the chat, or just open your mic, then you can ask them now before we jump into the demonstration.
Linda, we don't have any questions in the chat, but would anyone like to unmute and ask any questions? Otherwise, you can ask at the end of the demo, which you're going to do now.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, cool. Then let's start with the demo. So I'm going to log in again. Okay. So coming back to our journey, you remember the first step was about transparency, what is in your plant. So I would like to show you here. In this case, in my plant, there are only 18 assets in 2 locations with 25 tags. And they are with 10 asset types, with critical assets, and we have 5 manufacturers in this case. So just a rough overview of what's going on. I think one of the most important information is my maintainability metrics here. You can see, okay, sorry, risk of maintainability and process criticality. So the assets in my plant are structured in that way. How critical are they and how maintainable are they? And you can already see, okay, I have here one asset that is in red, so I should be taking care of that. So if I click on that asset, you will see which tag this is and what type of device. I will not yet go into the details. This is for later, but let's continue here with this overview of the transparency of your plant. So just for information, you can see here what is inside my plant. I have 12 instruments, flow devices, valves, and other types of devices. And my assets are distributed between Endress and Hauser. I have some Emerson, Krone, Vega, and ABB. So it gives you an idea of what's going on. And you have the transparency of understanding your plant. So here, criticality, it's all classified by high, medium, low. So this part of the asset management is done together, usually with the customers, because this is not something that a supplier can read out of assets. So it's a joint together with customers so that they help the supplier to classify how critical their assets really are. And here you see the asset obsolescence in this case here. So I have 8 available assets, 6 are undefined, probably then not readable, the information. I have 3 with order stop and 1 even phase out. This information is now something that the supplier has in their production system and reads out serial number and then gets this information into the system. So this is the automatic part of the asset management system. Okay, so first part of the journey is transparency. Let's move on to documents. So you have a place to store all documents. And in most of the asset management systems, this is also somehow linked to production system. So with the serial number, we can read out information. And in this case, we read out the documents that are behind those assets. So you can see these are the fundamental documentation for the memo sense in this case. With an operating instruction, we have something for the liquid line. All the documents the supplier is providing to the customer or user in this case are already stored here. And then the user can add additional files that they need to and share it with different groups. So everything in one place. I would like to jump now into the part of troubleshooting, because I think this is a very relevant part for a lot of users. Let's go into the dashboard. So you can see here in this dashboard, there are 7 assets doing all right, 2 have a failure, 1 has a maintenance. So they are classified, and I can see here, looking down, okay, there are a couple of assets where I should have a look at. And I would like to show you this example here of this device that has a failure. So let's check it out. This is a memo sensor. Asset status is failure. So I can, this one is read out by the device. And here you can see what's the diagnosis code of the device, of this failure. So it has a problem with power consumption. And then you also get remedy information of what's going on in the device, what you should do. This information could be relevant for the user. So sending somebody from maintenance, they already have information at hand. Or also if you working with a service team from your supplier, then this information is also relevant for them. So looking back here, you can see what was going on in the past. So this failure is open since today, 9 o'clock. Then we had last week on Wednesday also a check function. And then you can also check here cause and remedy information. So this information gives you a transparency of, is your device doing well, and what should I do if it's not doing well? Okay. So the last part of the journey was process insights. And here I would like to show you in value what type of information you can read out in value. So we are still at this memo sense. And as I told you, it's in failure, so it's not working properly. So there are no values in this case. So let's go to the dashboard and see what else I have. So here, the conductivity sensor, digitalization. There are some interesting information you can see. For example, the first value here, conductivity sensor health, shows you 0%. It's probably an issue. And also what's interesting, the impedance also gives you information about the aging of the sensor and when it might break down. So you can check the history. How is it moving from 1 month to 1 week? The same with, for example, what I told you, the glass impedance. And with this type of information, you are then able to understand or derive trends out of this thing. So a pH glass impedance, if you monitor it on a regular basis, you might be able to understand when your sensor will break down. Okay, with that, are there any specific questions where you would like to have a look at in this asset management system? This is an example from us. There are also numerous different asset management systems on the market, and I think there's a lot of similar information available. It's just the way that they visualize it is different, and the way they access can also be different. So far, are there any questions?
Doesn't look like it, Linda.
Okay. Then, if there are no questions, I think we can close the session. If there are any questions afterwards, you can also reach out to me on that.
Thank you for demonstrating, Linda. Does anyone have any questions at all to ask? This is your last chance. Please feel free to unmute if you prefer to ask in person. Otherwise, put it in the chat box. And this session will be, has been recorded, and it will be saved into the ISPE Singapore YouTube page so that you can refer to it, and for those people that joined later. Otherwise, if you have any other queries about this presentation and would like to know more, please do get in touch with us and we will forward your query to Linda and the Anderson Hauser team. Okay, if there's no other questions, then that means that we can let you go early, Linda. And also, I think everyone else can continue on with their evening. So we'd like to thank those of you that have been able to join us today. And we look forward to seeing you all again at the next Technical Tuesday session. We do have a session on a webinar, which will be taking place next week, which will be about closed loop control with PAT and bioreactor digital twin for yield optimization. That's quite a mouthful. That will be happening next Tuesday, also online. So if you'd like to join that, you can also sign up for that. Oh, we have a question from Marcus. Thank you, Marcus, who asks, on the dashboard, where is the instrument performance, in brackets, healthy status shown?
The health, I think the health.
Instrument performance, healthy or otherwise, I guess, shown.
So the status is here shown. So these are the Namur status. That's a standardized way of classifying health status of assets. So you can see here, everything is all right. I think this one says maintenance needed. This one is failure. The red one is failure. All right. So here in this area, you see the health status. And then when you click in it, you can read out what the status means. And this gives you an overview of what's going on. Does this answer your question?
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's properly. Yes,
Okay.
I think so. Does anyone else have any questions? Thank you for that, Marcus. Any pertaining to the demonstration or the presentation earlier? Okay, well, if not, thank you very much, Linda, for spending part of your afternoon with us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon, and we leave everyone to get on with their evening.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Linda. Take care. Have a good evening.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.